What is going on, nerds and nerdettes? It's your boy Stevie B with this week's haul video. Oh my gosh. Oh, it is a season, man. Starting to get things lined up. We put our Christmas tree up. What do you think? It's funny, a little funny story is we bought a Christmas tree last year on clearance for this year because, the tree we had last year was like 3 feet tall and just a little bush that, because we didn't have that much space. So we had more space this year and went out and bought a decent tree that we thought was a decent tree. Get it out of the box, and it's 6 feet tall, but it's 6 feet tall and this big around. Looks like a pipe cleaner. So we were not happy with that. So Amy gets on Facebook Marketplace and starts looking at trees, and she finds a couple she liked, and I found one that I liked, just one that I thought that was a pretty good deal, and it sounded like a nice tree. And so we looked at the ones that she picked, and we decided, well, let's just go look at the one that I liked. I know, I win. So we go out there, and it's a great tree. It was great. Well, you can see, nice tree. Pre-lit, which we really wasn't wanting, but it wasn't overdone, and it was pre-lit with LEDs instead of those crappy bulbs where one goes out and the others die too. So that's what we did this weekend, was put up that tree a little earlier than I usually do. I usually wait till after Thanksgiving before we put it up, but I have a family Christmas party, and this year I'm hosting it for our family because we have a little more room than everyone else does. So I decided, hey, let me do it over here. We got plenty of space and everything. So we're trying to get, in the Christmas spirit a little earlier than normal. So anyway, that was our tree. That was our weekend. What's in the news? Oh yeah. Oh, the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. Oh my God, that was just a shit show from bell to bell, wasn't it? There's a lot of people out there saying fixed, it was staged, it was, and it's hard to argue against that. I don't know how much of it was staged and how much of it is just Tyson's 60 years old and he hasn't fought in a long time, and I think people were expecting Iron Mike and they got Don't Hit Me Mike instead. And why go in there and get your head beat in, when you're gonna get a $40 million paycheck anyway. So Mike Tyson fought the fight of a man who was like, oh, you're gonna give me millions and millions of dollars to fight this jerk off? Okay, I'll go stand in the ring and take a few swings at him, whatever. It did seem like at one point Mike connected with a hard left that kind of rocked him, but then he backed off and didn't go in and finish him. So it makes you kind of wonder a little bit. All in all, it was a snooze fest for the people that actually got to watch the whole thing without buffering and all that. They had all kinds of issues at Netflix, which I don't know that they've addressed yet, or if what they're gonna do to try to make that right. Millions and millions of people tuned in for that, which is kind of funny, all these people talking about women's equality that they don't have, and all of the same people that are banning pancake bottles or syrup, pancake syrup bottles and oatmeal packages are banding together in droves to root for the convicted rapist while they munch on their Subway sandwiches. It's just the amount of hypocrisy in this world today just absolutely just stuns me. And then people can't see that the double standard. You know, I mean, imagine if Bill Cosby got out of prison and you know, started doing stand up again, and everybody just flocking like, oh, Bill, yay! I mean, that's what they're doing. Tyson, convicted rapist, and people are willing to overlook that about him. You know, and don't get me wrong, I don't care. I don't care. I respect what the man has done. Never was a fan of the human being. Much like Trump, not a fan of the human being, but I can appreciate what he's done. Same with Tyson. Jake Paul is just a puke. He's a loudmouth, arrogant. He is the Randy Orton of boxing, of fighting. The legend killer. Lines up all these washed up fighters that are past their prime, haven't fought in a week, and he thinks he's building himself a reputation as a badass by beating these people. Not so much, man. You need the one person that you fought, Tyson Fury, that was, you know, active and in your age range, wasn't washed up and retired, and he beat your ass. So I wouldn't go flying the flag of superiority right just yet there, Jake. Fight some real people that are active. Don't get me wrong, a lot of those fighters you fought, I wouldn't jack with today. Still tough people, but just not there anymore. Just not the same as they were in their prime, their heyday. What made them legend. Mike Tyson's not the Mike Tyson of 20 years ago. It's not the same guy. You didn't beat that Mike Tyson. You beat the washed up, not washed up. I hate to use the word washed up. It sounds so derogatory. The retired, past his prime Mike Tyson. And that's not an accomplishment. The only thing you gained by that fight, the only thing Jake Paul gained by that fight was a truckload of money. He didn't gain any respect or any clout or street cred or whatever. So it was a lose-lose for him, other than the money. He won a lot of money, but he got a lot of money, but he didn't build it on his reputation. He wasn't going to, no matter what happened. He either got beat up by a 60-year-old man past his prime, or he beat up a 60-year-old man past his prime. Yeah, it was a lose-lose as far as your reputation goes. But enjoy that truckload of money. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. I know, I get a 8-minute long monologue of talking about stuff that you may or may not want to hear about. But then again, I'm about to show you books that you may or may not give a shit about anyway. So, thought I'd like to try to make it interesting, talk about current events, see what's going on in the world today. So, as you may remember, last week I did not get my Midtown shipment because they got stuck in the mail. And so I just decided to go on with what I had. So we got this week's Midtown, or we got last week's Midtown and this week's Midtown. And I got it mixed up because, you know, that's what I do. So let's start with my pet peeve about Midtown. Why do y'all do this? Why? I understand that they're free books, and I understand that, but still, some of these free books end up having a little value at some point. These are not going to be those kind of books. These are going to probably go towards my Christmas comic book annual giveaway at work, so I picked them up anyway. But bag and board them. Don't be such tightwads. Put them in bags and boards. And these are all the Halloween edition Trick or Read 2024 books that were available. And we got Fantastic Four, the Dinosaur Fantastic Four. Number one. I will put them in bags and boards because I'm not a cheap asshole. I'll put them in used bags and boards, but they'll be in bags and boards. Spider-Boy, the Webless Wonder, number one. I don't think these have any first appearances or anything, So I don't really, there's not going to be any key elements. They're just for reading, and most of them are for kids. So they'd be perfect to put in my little box of goodies to give away this year. Marvel, Spidey and His Amazing Friends. Ooh, and you even get a little cutout mask on the back, so you too can be Spidey. Sweet. And Venom, Bedlam, #1. Nice one to give away, and some Star Wars goodness here. Star Wars Age of Resistance, Kylo Ren, #1. Again, free comic books, free trick or treat, trick or read, Halloween. It used to be Halloween Comic Fest, but I guess they trick or read now. So, yeah, no, it's cool that they give them away, but don't be such tightwads. Put them in a bagging board. Sweet tea. All right, next up. Of course, I got my Absolute Superman #1. This Absolute series is doing well in the secondary market. People are digging it. People are digging the Absolute Batman. I got it, and I got the foil logo cover because it's foil. I have not read them yet, and I need to, but I'm afraid to get into them at this point. As I mentioned last week, here in a couple weeks, Amy's going to be going in for hip replacement surgery, and I'm afraid the comic book thing will have to shut down, and I don't want to get into a series and not be able to finish it. So I got the #1s, and we'll go on with that. And this one also, Batgirl #1, nice foil cover, love it. Yeah, total cover buy. Might be a first appearance in here, I can't remember. We'll come back to you. And this one also, JSA #1. I was stoked to see him bring back another JSA comic. And then when they brought it back and they had a foil, I was like, okay, you got me. So, JSA #1. Happy to pick that one up. And this one I just stumbled across and didn't even know it was a thing. But kind of a cool little collectible. Like I said, didn't know it was a thing. I'm a casual, mild wrestling fan. I don't watch it every week. Matter of fact, I don't watch it more than I do. I catch the highlights on social media, on YouTube, and stuff like that. With Santa's app, he's my YouTube guy for wrestling, and catch the highlights to kind of keep up with it. But this AEW Origins #1, kind of a cool little collectible. It's DC. I'm kind of surprised that DC is in on a wrestling book. It kind of seems more of an indie thing to me, but oh well. And this one picked up for a couple reasons. One, love this Jenny Frison foil cover. And #2, a little bit of spec. G.I. Joe. It tends to be hit and miss. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But G.I. Joe, a new #1. That Jenny Frison foil. I know it doesn't, you can't tell it's foil. It's kind of subdued. It's not that shiny. It's kind of a dull, almost like a copper type shine to it. It's kind of dull, but it is a foil. And Jenny Frison, I like her, so I was cool with it. Another foil, I know, I am eat up. It's terrible. But new #1, Psylocke #1. But you like the it's a spot foil, so give me a break. It's not really full foil, just these lightning bolts here and stuff for foil. Still a really cool cover. But it's a number one, so I picked it up. Speaking of absolute Batman, I went ahead and got this noir cover, number one. Absolute Batman number one. But the noir, because it was foil. And I seen, okay, people are buzzing about this. Maybe wouldn't hurt to have a couple different copies of this, you know. So I picked it up. Cool one. Okay, and then of course, one more after this one. One more and I can finish this set. I'm excited to finish this run. It's been a long time since I've been excited to finish a whole run of books, but I'm excited for one more of these to be and they're done. And that's Marvel's Secret Wars. I got number 11, the foil facsimile. One more to go, and then I'll have them all. I'm excited for that. And then we just got to get all the Crisis on Infinite Earths foil facsimiles. And I wonder if the popularity of these will be enough that maybe they'll do some more runs of foil facsimiles, which... All right. Not sure what happened. Apparently it said my phone ran out of storage for videos, and that's not possible because I have 161 gigabytes of storage left. So I went in and cleaned some things up. But where were we? We were talking about, sorry about the interruption. We were talking about Secret Wars and the popularity of these foil facsimiles, whether they're popular enough that we may see some more foil facsimiles of some other iconic runs that, you know, they might come out. I can't. What would be a good one to do? I don't know, but you know, there are some iconic storylines. Craven's Last Hunt, that's a good one. They could come out in foil facsimiles, you know, or something like that. But I could see this becoming a trend. All right, next up, I have been on record multiple times talking about how much I hate these. And this one, and I have 3 of them. One of them was intentional. I knew what it was, but I had to have that book, and that was the Superman versus Muhammad Ali. This one I was not aware I didn't pay attention probably more than anything, but Batman Special All Villain issue, limited collector's edition. I hate these giant comic books. Hate them. Not only that, but Midtown shipped it so poorly that it got damaged, even though you can't. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Look at that. That spine got crunched. Focus. So it even got damaged. It is a foil facsimile, and that's all I saw. I was blind. So I bought it, and then it shows up, and it's one of these monster ass. It's cool cover, I get it, but storing these things is such a pain. But anyway, last book I want to talk about, and here's your clickbait. You know, it's a Todd Mcfarlane book cover that you probably don't have. And why can I confidently say you probably don't have it? It's because there's only 4,000 of them in existence, and they are numbered. And it is Lady Death, Malevolent Decimation, number 1. The Todd Mcfarlane Lady Death cover. These were a Coffin Comics kind of a promotional thing. It ran for 24 hours. You could order for 24 hours. And once the 24 hours was up, couldn't order it anymore. And then they only printed enough to fulfill the order. That's what they said. But this is number 1,200 out of 4,000. 4,000 seems like an awfully convenient round number. So either It's inaccurate, and there's 4,027 or 4,183, and that's a rough estimate. Or they got 3,896 orders, and they just rounded it up to 4,000, and they got a few in the back burner, just like for their as prizes for their mystery boxes or something to put in or to distribute amongst their whatnot sellers or whatever. But 4,000 seems like an awfully conveniently round number, and I don't think that that's accurate at all. I'm gonna hope for the best and say that they probably have printed 4,000 of them, but they only probably had 3,000 plus orders. They just rounded it up, or they had every intention of making 4,000 of these already, and they did 4,000, and they only mailed out what was ordered. I don't think they had exactly 4,000 people order one of these, and then that's all they printed. So there's some extras floating around out there, probably in the vault at Coffin Comics. And mine is signed by Brian Pulido. So not everybody, you had an option to get it signed, not everybody did. So I would say that mine is, there's your COA. Mine is a little slightly less than 4,000, because they probably made 4,000 books, but only a percentage of those are signed. So it's probably a little less. More tea. But I don't know. McFarlane stuff tends to hold value. That is a gorgeous Lady Death cover. His stuff tends to hold value, so I thought it was a pretty safe investment. I think it was $20 to $25. I don't know. They're already going for more than that on the secondary market, so wise investment, I think. But anyway, that is it for the haul videos. I wanted to get through that first because I didn't want to bring everybody down, and I didn't want to start off on a low note. I will not mention his name because I don't know that he wants this information, or I don't know that he wants his name public. But a friend of mine and a loyal subscriber messaged me the other day, and it seems last week or so, his wife had passed. I want to send out my most heartfelt condolences to you, my friend. He has a teenage daughter, and I know it's double tough on the kids. And I just want to tell you, my friend, I said, the pain will never go away, I know. And I wouldn't even insult anyone by trying to say I know what you're going through, because I don't. It's different for everybody. So I can just tell you that I'm sure you will get past it. You'll grow stronger and be able to deal with it better as time goes on. Right now, focus on that little girl of yours and be strong for her. And like I said, dealing with it gets a little easier over time. And like I said, my most heartfelt condolences to you and your little girl, my friend. I'm never good at these things. I really never know what to say, because there's never anything you can ever tell someone who's grieving that's going to make them feel better. But all I can say is I'm here for you, my brother, if you ever need to talk. I'm really bad about responding to comments in here and stuff. I know that. I'm really bad. Life gets busy. But hit me up on Instagram. I'll make it a point. I will make it a point, if you need to talk to somebody, to prioritize your messages, and we'll talk. Again, my heart goes out you and your daughter. It's terrible. It's a terrible thing, but love you, bro. The whole community is behind you, and I hope you can be strong for you and your daughter. But anyway, sorry to end it on such a downer note, but I could not just glaze over it and not let my friend know that I'm thinking of him. Say a silent prayer for him. If you're a follower of mine, if you're a subscriber, if he wishes to let you know who he is, then I'll let him disclose that information. But I want to respect his privacy, but I also want to let him know that he's in my thoughts. All right. So that being said, I'd rather end it on a sad note than start it with a sad note. But anyway, that is going to do it for the haul videos. I do have a couple coming for next week, so there'll probably be a video next week. There may even be a surprise video next week, but we'll try to do something, put something together for next week, so we can I'm trying to keep the content going for as long as I can, and because I do enjoy it, and I know there's at least a handful of people out there that enjoy what I do. But anyway, that is going to do it for this one. Do all those YouTube things we love for you to do. Like, subscribe, comment, share, and say a little silent prayer for our friend in the community that's going through a loss right now. But we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.